Last month in February, we celebrated HF Feb, a month dedicated to the awesome LEGO theme, Hero Factory. And now, in March, I want to head back, and I'm going to showcase the awesome creations that you guys submitted. So let's return to Hero Factory and just have some fun. Okay, first creation today, it is Evo by Pixart. So we all remember Invasion from Below, right? Those mech-themed sets that had minifigures piloting them. And yeah, that made them a very unique concept. And it was just a great way of establishing scale. You saw these little heroes and you thought, oh, okay, that's meant to be a representation of your typical everyday Hero Factory set, but now they're inside this gigantic mech. So when they fight monsters, you get the sense that those monsters are huge. But what if you actually did get one of those regular-sized heroes and you built a massive, big old suit of armor for them to ride in? That's an ambitious idea, but my word, Pixart has done exactly that. It's so rare to see a mech suit that is this big. What a treat. This is a really nice use, by the way, of this big dome cockpit element. You know, it's not like the original Invasion from Below sets where the cockpit, essentially showed off the entire hero. This one is just localized around their head, but, you know, you still get a lot of visibility and it looks good. So I think it's fine. And look at how poseable this is as well. That super satisfying knee bend is so impressive and very satisfying. That's always the challenge, right? If you're building something big like this, things, they start to get a little top heavy. Sometimes the weight of the mock is going to become an issue and it's going to fall over all the time. And sometimes articulation can be way harder because, you know, when the weight shifts as you move the mock, suddenly it just becomes too much and it falls over. Many problems are going to arise if you build big and tall like this. It's not like it's this impossible thing to do, but I feel like there is some sort of correlation between the height and the size of a mock versus how easy it's going to be to pose and how much it's going to be able to support its own weight. But hey, it seems that the builder has expertly navigated around this and made a very tall and very poseable mock. Not the easiest thing to do, but they nailed it. Oh, and look at this shot as well. Evo holding all of these dead brain slugs. Something about that goes so hard. We do also notice a few images here where there is a different pilot with the mech, someone that's not related to Hero Factory. Now, the builder said that originally they wanted to design a revamp of this Hero Factory set, but later on they built a different pilot and they thought, hey, you know what? I want to change things up. And I like that. Sometimes that's what happens when you build a mock. You come in with one idea and as you're going, you're like, no, I'm going to make this something different. Nothing wrong with that. And hey, it's March now. It's unfortunately no longer HF Feb. If you want to build something different, do it. If you want to take your mock from HF Feb and convert it into something else, do it. Do whatever you want. Pivot away from Hero Factory, pivot towards Hero Factory. Have fun with it. Dude, I love this mock. Now, let's show off a kaiju that this guy can fight. This is made by Paleo Bricks. So yeah, this guy here uses that orange headpiece that originally came on Splitter Beast. I'm so used to seeing this headpiece with the Azure headpiece that's on the other head. So I don't know, seeing it on its own, it suddenly feels totally different. Building a brand new body for this head, suddenly this just becomes a brand new character. It's great. Looking at this, it almost seems like it's some sort of long-lost Hero Factory Invasion from Below set that never was released. Some long-lost media or something like that. Obviously it's not, but I can dream. And check out these squid pieces being used as spikes on the back. If you're not familiar with this part, we see them on every single Boraki set. They're like the ammo that's inside their squid launchers. I never expected these to look this good as spikes, but here we are. Very clever part use. And then check out that sweet repetition of pieces on the tail. It all looks so well armored and so seamless. And I love the way that it wonderfully caps off at the end with those two armor shells at the back and some spikes along the sides as well. Man, this is beautifully simplistic, but wonderfully complex at the same time. It's so good. Sliding over to a creation that is built by Thunker, this is Splitface the Biological Horror. Here's a side-by-side with the mock and the set. Now, other than the color scheme, these guys look nothing alike. And I love that. This looks like a character that's been totally transformed by some sort of freaky virus. And it's really done a number on them. On the one side, you can see the original character, yet maybe they're a little bit more hunched over than they originally were. But when you look at the face, you can see the original face piece. But on the other side, all of this red opens up like it's some sort of mouth. A huge mouth. And inside that mouth, you can see the insides of their face. It's disgusting, it's creepy, it's gross. But when you're building a villain, you can lean into that. You can go as wild, as wacky, as gross, as evil as you want. It fits right at home. Yeah, what a great way of reimagining Splitface. I've not seen many people reinvent him like this, but dang, it's cool. Check out the back design too. It's using some of these Zamispheres and the cage that holds them to, I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit like some bulbous growths growing out of their back. Bit of an interesting way of showcasing the mutation factor, and it's certainly a clever part use as well. If you're not familiar with these pieces, the black Zamisphere cage, it came on Nuparu and Nika, you can see it right here. And those Zamispheres that are being used here, I believe they are the marbled variant that you saw on all of the fire villains. They pair well together, don't they? Yeah, a very original take on the character, it's good. And finally, Mr. B has built Apocalypse Hero. I am a sucker for people taking the world of Hero Factory and flipping it on its head. I remember there was this mock I showcased in the past, and it had this awesome backstory to it. It was this idea that Hero Factory doesn't exist anymore, it's shut down. And now all the heroes have to figure out what to do with themselves. Some of them become bounty hunters, some of them become mercenaries. They do whatever they gotta do to survive. But what about the idea of an apocalyptic world for Hero Factory? You know, Hero Factory itself got blown up, Makuhiro City is an apocalyptic wasteland, and there's some big bad evil villain that's taken over, and now the whole world is run by villains. But you got a few heroes that survived, and they gotta make do with what they can to try and defeat these villains and return back to normal. Isn't that sick? And the vibes of this character are just so on point for that concept. They've got no mask, you know, I'm sure their mask got damaged somehow, but now they gotta wear like a gas mask here. I'm sure the air is poisonous now or something like that. And then you got a gunmetal and dark tan color scheme. Those colors are so bleak and so drab. It's what you would expect on an apocalyptic hero. And then lovely idea to use some system pieces for this dark tan armor. I especially love the torso design here using some of these wedge plate pieces. The way that that's built around this hero core looks amazing. Even just the pop of yellow on these air tanks on the back, beautiful. And then check out the legs as well. Using some of these gunmetal blaster pieces, we saw these on a set like Breakout Surge. Taking that off of his blaster and putting it on the leg design, good stuff. Dude, everything about this rocks. Good story, good concept, great execution, great way of using pieces. I love it. So well done to all the builders in today's episode. It was nice to head back to the world of Hero Factory one more time. We're definitely going to be doing it again very soon. So hey, if you liked the mocks you saw today and you want to see more from these builders, check the links below. You can find their social media right there. But if you do want to email me your mock, you can do so through the submission email that's also in the links below, but it's also on your screen right now. Submit me whatever you can and I'll do my best to feature it in the future. Thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now.